It is currently 1 o'clock, January 6th, and it is my last night home before I go back to school for a bit for my January term. Most colleges stay home until near end of January, I think the 20th, but I don't because I have a January term. I'm taking a class on the Geological Index Survey Index, GSI or GIS. I don't remember which one it is, but it's a class on reading map data and doing some geological mapping. But I'm not talking about classes right now. I am whenever I go to school, I pack in the middle of the night. I don't know why. It's just kind of what I do. And I just finished packing up my desktop because in Christmas is the only time I bring it home because I am here for an extended period of time. Other vacations I don't because it's not really worth bringing because it's a bit of packing just because I'm making sure that the computer is actually safe and all this and that. But it just I don't know why this triggered me thinking about how out of my family I am the best packer because I pack I do one day of packing and it's the middle of the night every single time. And when I wake up, I'll have everything ready. And I don't really know why because my sister, she takes the week to pack and it's crazy. My mom takes a couple of days. My dad does the morning of, which is crazy because he always talks about being not being late to wherever we're going, but then inevitably is the one that makes us late, which I feel like is a classic dad thing to do. And it's really crazy because he has to be places on time for his job and all the time. And somehow when he's at home, he just cannot be on time to go somewhere. It's kind of weird. But I don't know why, taking my computer places is stressful for me because it's my computer. I bought this 4 years ago, junior year of high school, as my birthday Christmas present because it's a desktop PC and I did get a good amount of good specs on it. But I mean, I keep it in the styrofoam that I bought it in so I can transfer it properly. I have my own the monitor box and everything, and it's kind of a big stressor when I'm traveling because I have to make sure when I put everything into my car it's kind of tightly packed so the computer doesn't wobble around, and I'm afraid it's going to break because I'm just it's an expensive thing and I really don't want it to break. But I digress about packing. It's just that I live pretty far away from my college, not far enough to fly, and not close enough for a day trip, which is really unfortunate. I found that there's a sweet spot of 3.5 hours where you can drive somewhere and be far enough away from your parents that they don't spontaneously show up, but close enough that if I have a 3-day or 4-day weekend, I can just go home or I can do something and I don't feel like I have to make a big deal out of it. Because sometimes you just need to pop in for a while. In college there's a fall break and I have a 4-day fall break, and this year I came home just because I was exhausted because I feel the previous semester, I think I had 5.5 weeks on, 4 days off, 5.5 weeks on. So I was I'm going to come home and I really need to come home. And it was just oh. And also it's because I really love fall in my area because I'm in the mountains and it's utterly beautiful. And I came home at peak fall season and I was really happy about that because last year I kind of missed fall because when you're in the mountains, when it gets cold fast. So the leaves all change at the same time and it's beautiful. But I am 6.5, 7 hours away. So it's always a really, really long time to get to school. So I have to make sure that I've packed everything just so I can get up in the morning and just leave immediately, because I find that I get exceptionally tired when driving at night. I feel like that's pretty normal for everybody, especially if I'm near the end of my travels. So I need to wake up at like 8 or 9 to then travel so I'm there in daylight. And yeah, and I have to also worry about a snowstorm, which may or may not be hitting my area, especially right now. There's a lot of snow around me. But yeah, I'm actually not going to talk too long right now, just because I really need to go to bed, because I have to wake up a little bit early in the morning to actually get some stuff done. So this is the last recording that'll be at home for a month, I think. I may be home, I may not be home, I may go do something different with some friends or whatnot for my little break between my January term and my semester starting. But yeah, it'll be interesting because I'm nervous that I won't be able to find a room or somewhere to record some things at appropriate times, because classrooms and alone spaces are pretty hard to come by on a college campus. But we'll see what happens, and hopefully tomorrow's drive is not too rough.